Question 1. A company needs to migrate its on-premises Windows-based applications that rely heavily on Server Message Block (SMB) protocol and Active Directory integration to the AWS cloud. Which AWS FSx file system type is the most suitable choice? Option A, Amazon FSx for Lustre. Option B, Amazon FSx for OpenZFS. Option C, Amazon FSx for Windows File Server. Option D, Amazon FSx for NetApp ONTAP. The correct answer is Amazon FSx for Windows File Server. Here's the explanation. FSx for Windows File Server provides native support for the SMB protocol and seamless integration with Active Directory, making it ideal for lift and shift of Windows-based applications and user home directories. Question 2. An engineer is setting up a high-performance computing (HPC) cluster for machine learning workloads that require massive parallel access to large datasets, with the ability to store data durably in Amazon S3. Which FSx option should be chosen? Option A, Amazon FSx for Windows File Server with S3 integration. Option B, Amazon FSx for Lustre, persistent file system. Option C, Amazon FSx for OpenZFS with data tiering to S3. Option D, Amazon EFS with S3 lifecycle policies. The correct answer is Amazon FSx for Lustre, persistent file system. Here's the explanation. FSx for Lustre is specifically optimized for HPC, machine learning, and media processing workloads, delivering very high throughput and low latency. Persistent file systems integrate with Amazon S3 as a data repository for durable storage. Question 3. A customer is looking for a fully managed file system that supports multi-protocol access. NFS, SMB, ISCSI, offers familiar NetApp ONTAP data management features like SnapMirror and FlexClone, and can automatically tier cold data to Amazon S3. Which FSx service provides these capabilities? Option A, Amazon FSx for Windows File Server. Option B, Amazon FSx for Lustre. Option C, Amazon FSx for OpenZFS. Option D, Amazon FSx for NetApp ONTAP. The correct answer is Amazon FSx for NetApp ONTAP. Here's the explanation. FSx for NetApp ONTAP emulates the NetApp ONTAP operating system, providing multi-protocol access, NFS, SMB, ISCSI, familiar ONTAP features, and automatic data tiering from SSDs to Amazon S3 for cost optimization. Question 4. A company wants to migrate its on-premises departmental file shares to AWS S3 while maintaining low-latency access for local users using standard network file protocols like NFS. Which AWS storage gateway type is best suited for this requirement? Option A, Volume Gateway, cached volumes. Option B, File Gateway. Option C, Tape Gateway. Option D, Volume Gateway, stored volumes. The correct answer is File Gateway. Here's the explanation. File Gateway presents cloud storage as NFS or SMB file shares, allowing on-premises applications to store and retrieve files directly from S3. It maintains a local cache for frequently accessed data, optimizing performance for local users. Question 5. An organization needs to host a critical on-premises database application that requires low-latency block storage locally. However, they also need to ensure durable, off-site backups of this primary data are stored in AWS S3 for disaster recovery. Which storage gateway configuration should they choose? Option A, File Gateway mapping database files to S3. Option B, Tape Gateway for virtual tape backups to S3 Glacier. Option C, Volume Gateway configured as cached volumes. Option D, Volume Gateway configured as stored volumes. The correct answer is Volume Gateway configured as stored volumes. Here's the explanation. Stored volumes configuration of Volume Gateway stores primary data locally on your on-premises gateway for low latency access, and asynchronously backs up point-in-time snapshots of this data to S3 as Amazon EBS snapshots for durable, off-site disaster recovery. Question 6. Which statement accurately describes a key characteristic and benefit of the AWS Tape Gateway? Option A. It presents ISCSI block storage volumes to on-premises applications with primary data stored in S3. Option B. It maps S3 buckets as NFS or SMB file shares for on-premises access. Option C. It replaces physical tape libraries with a virtual equivalent, storing virtual tapes in S3 and archiving to S3 Glacier for long-term retention. Option D. It primarily facilitates one-time or periodic batch data transfers between on-premises storage and AWS. The correct answer is it replaces physical tape libraries with a virtual equivalent, storing virtual tapes in S3 and archiving to S3 Glacier for long-term retention. Here's the explanation. Tape Gateway offers a virtual tape library (VTL) interface to on-premises backup applications, storing virtual tapes in S3 and seamlessly archiving them to S3 Glacier or S3 Glacier Deep Archive for long-term, cost-effective retention. Options A and B describe Volume Gateway and File Gateway respectively, while D describes data sync. Question 7. A large enterprise needs to migrate 85 petabytes (PB) of archival data from its on-premises data center to AWS S3. The existing network connection would take years to complete the transfer. Which AWS service is specifically designed to handle a data migration of this magnitude? Option A. AWS Direct Connect. Option B. AWS Snowball Edge Storage Optimized. Option C. AWS Data Sync. Option D. AWS Snowmobile. The correct answer is AWS Snowmobile. Here's the explanation. AWS Snowmobile is an exabyte-scale data transfer service capable of transporting up to 100 petabytes per truck, making it ideal for migrating extremely large datasets like 85 petabytes. AWS Snowball Edge is for petabyte scale, tens to hundreds of TBs, while Direct Connect and Data Sync are for online transfers. Question 8. A remote research facility with intermittent internet connectivity needs to collect and process large volumes of sensor data locally before eventually sending aggregated results to AWS for long-term storage and further analysis. Which AWS Snow family device would be most appropriate for this scenario? Option A. AWS Snowmobile, due to its massive storage capacity. Option B. AWS Snowball Edge Compute Optimized, due to its local compute capabilities and storage. Option C. AWS Snowball Edge Storage Optimized, primarily for its high-speed data transfer. Option D. AWS Direct Connect, to establish a dedicated link for data transfer. The correct answer is AWS Snowball Edge Compute Optimized, due to its local compute capabilities and storage. Here's the explanation. AWS Snowball Edge devices, particularly the Compute Optimized variant, offer local compute capabilities, e.g., running EC2 instances or Lambda functions via Greengrass, in addition to storage. This makes them ideal for processing data at the edge in environments with limited or no connectivity before eventually transferring results to the cloud. Question 9. An administrator has received an AWS Snowball Edge device for a data import job. What two critical pieces of information are required to unlock and access the device for data transfer? Option A. An AWS IAM user access key and secret key. Option B. The S3 bucket name and a pre-signed URL. Option C. A manifest file and an unlock code. Option D. the device's IP address and SSH credentials. The correct answer is a manifest file and an unlock code. Here's the explanation. To securely unlock and access an AWS Snowball Edge device, you need both a manifest file, downloaded from the AWS console, and an unlock code, provided separately by AWS. This two-factor authentication mechanism ensures only authorized personnel can access the device. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.